Medical depression is defined as a mood disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Emotionally, it's the feeling of a sadness that never goes away. It's the feeling of utter hopelessness. It's the feeling of dread. The feeling of not wanting to do anything. It's the feeling of wanting everything to end. For quite some time, I felt all these emotions, but I bottled them up, thinking being sad was actually normal. But bottling up my feelings turned to days, then weeks, then months. I honestly thought being so utterly upset to the point that I cried until I flooded the earth with my tears was normal. I thought being stuck in an endless black void of hopelessness was an event humans go through weekly, or even daily. I couldn't even do my homework or daily chores just because I was too overwhelmed with my emotions, leaving me with no motivation. Every day, I'd cry in my room, and my parents and sisters actually thought I was laughing so hard that I was crying over a video I was watching, and that made me sadder. I was being heard, but no one asked if I was okay. I just continued to push my emotions deeper and deeper into the void. 35 million Americans are diagnosed with major or severe depression. In December of 2015, I found out that I was a part of that statistic. I wasn't the least bit shocked after my diagnosis. I knew I was sadder than the norm. After that, I was prescribed with Zoloft, a common antidepressant which I take every day in order to keep me from breaking down. Taking medication to manage someone's symptoms doesn't make that person weak. It means that taking medication is a way of accepting help for combating something that is out of our control. Depression is like being surrounded by loud booming sounds for so long, and I couldn't tell how loud it was. And now, all I'm left with is a ringing in my ears. Essentially, depression drowns out everything else around you, making you see the world only through the lens of depression. Depression doesn't just go away like the flu. It lingers there, like the ringing in your ears. Despite the fact that depression fills you with a crushing sense of sadness, all the days spent fighting ultimately make that person strong. It is for all those reasons and more, I believe that we draw strengths from the worst of situations. Depression changes a person's life, but that doesn't mean their life is over. Everyone has so many new beginnings and so many things to achieve. Depression opened my eyes and made me see the good in the world. My diagnosis and my experiences with fighting a mental illness have made me the person I am today. Every day, even if I am struggling to stay happy, I try to keep a positive outlook on life. When I'm feeling down, my best friend reassures me that everything will be okay, and she gives me the validation I needed to hear during my times of sorrow. She's always been there for me, no matter what mood I was in. It is these simple actions that build upon these existing strengths and allow us to see that the world isn't there to throw someone to the void, but rather to lift them up and take them where they want to be. No one should ever have to suffer alone. Mental illness breaks people down and makes them feel weak, but after all said and done, so much strength can be derived from these experiences. My depression broke me down, but I believe I can draw strength from my situation.
Are you here with me? Just looking out on the day of another dream, where you can't get what you want.